Before 31st century BC, the land of Egypt was divided into two parts, the southern part and the northern part. The southern part was called Upper Egypt, and the northern part, closer to the Mediterranean Sea, was called Lower Egypt. These parts of ancient Egypt were ruled by separate kings until the conquest of Lower Egypt by Upper Egypt. The king who led this conquest and unified both these parts is Narmer. Having created a unified Egypt, Narmer then came to be called the First Pharaoh of Egypt. He succeeded the proto-dynastic king Ka. The dynasty to rule over Egypt after the unification is called the First Dynasty, which lasted till 2900 BC. So we can call Narmer the founder of this dynasty. There was another king called Menes, who was said to have been the one who unified Egypt. Before, the Egyptologists thought that Menes and Narmer were two different men, but now, many of them agree that they were the same person. The Narmer palette, which was discovered in 1897, might contain the answer to the question of who really unified Egypt. Let's take a look. A large picture in the center of the palette depicts Narmer wielding a mace, wearing the white crown of Upper Egypt. On the left of the king is a man wearing the king's sandals, flanked by a rosette symbol. To the right of the king is a kneeling prisoner, maybe a person of royal birth, who is about to be struck by the king. Above the prisoner is a falcon representing Horus, perched above a set of papyrus flowers, the symbol of Lower Egypt. The papyrus has often been interpreted as referring to the marshes of the Nile Delta region in Lower Egypt, or that the battle happened in a marshy area. Below the king's feet is a third section depicting two naked, bearded men. They are either running or are meant to be seen as sprawling dead upon the ground. Here, Narmer is depicted at nearly the full height of the register, emphasizing his godlike status in an artistic practice called hierarchic scale. On the left, the king wears the crown of Upper Egypt, and on the right, the king wears the crown of Lower Egypt. The intertwined necks of these two felines represent Egypt's unification. It seems like this pretty much confirms that it was Narmer who became the first pharaoh after unifying Upper and Lower Egypt. However, scholars are still debating whether it represents an actual historical event or is just purely symbolic. There is another theory believed by some Egyptologists which claim that it was not Narmer who started the unification process, but some other king, possibly Menes, if you don't consider them as the same person. However, it was Narmer who finished it through the conquest. The pharaohs of the unified Egypt wore a double crown that combined the red and white crowns of Upper and Lower Egypt into one. Whether it was Narmer or some other king who unified Egypt, this king laid the foundation for the rise of one of the greatest civilizations of the ancient world. If you want to learn more about the unification battle of Egypt, please watch my video on this topic. Tap the I button and check it out. Once Narmer established himself as the supreme ruler of both Upper and Lower Egypt, he married the princess Neithotep of Naquada in an alliance to strengthen the ties between the two cities. Neithotep's tomb, discovered in the 19th century AD, contains the names of Narmer and another king named Oraha. Neithotep's name means Neith is satisfied. Neith was the patron goddess of size in Lower Egypt. This suggests that she was a princess of Lower Egypt and further confirms that Narmer married her to consolidate the two regions of Egypt. The fact that her tomb is in Naquada, in Upper Egypt, has led some to the conclusion that she was a descendant of the pre-dynastic rulers of Naquada who ruled prior to its incorporation into a united Egypt. It has also been suggested that the decorative stone macet called Narmer macet commemorates this wedding. Some scholars believe that she was more than just the king's queen. She may have ruled Egypt solely after Narmer's death. They also believe that Neithotep is probably the earliest non-mythical woman in history. Canaan was a Semitic-speaking civilization and region in the ancient Near East. Although there was an active Egyptian presence in Canaan for about 200 years, it only reached its peak in the reign of Narmer. There were a total of 33 Egyptian seracs found in Canaan, among which 20 have been attributed to Narmer. A lot of Egyptian pottery and other Canaanite pottery made in the Egyptian style have also been found in Canaan. But what were the Egyptians doing in Canaan? The very nature of their presence is being questioned by many scholars. Some say it was just for trading purposes, as the control of trade to and through Canaan was very important to ancient Egypt, but others say that there must have been more to it than just trading. Maybe a military invasion to set up colonies? Fortifications dating to Dynasty 0 through early Dynasty 1, found at Tel Es Sakan, built almost entirely using an Egyptian style of construction, demonstrate that there must have also been some kind of Egyptian military presence. The reduced number of Egyptian seracs found in Canaan after Narmer's reign leads us to believe that the Egyptian presence in Canaan quickly declined afterwards. Narmer gave a lot of importance to Egyptian religious practices and iconography. Symbols such as Jed and the Ankh appear more frequently at this time. Due to the lack of records discovered, that's all we pretty much know about Narmer and his reign. To conclude, Narmer was a good king and the first one to unite Upper and Lower Egypt into one single Egypt, and also founded the first dynasty, which would rule the nation for hundreds of years. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, tap the thumbs up icon and share this video. Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell icon. I will see you again in a new video with a new topic to explain. Thanks for watching.